Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about solving simultaneous equations using the elimination method. Now, the elimination method, let me show you a question. We said that we have rules to do the elimination method. We said that you have to choose a variable that has the same coefficient with different signs. And if they don't, you have to make them have the same coefficients and different signs. So basically, I'm going to choose a question that needs a little bit of changing so we can work on it, okay? So I will choose this one. Let's see. So basically, let me cover this first. We will look at the equation and we will see which variable is the closest to the rules that we want to use in solving. So as we said, we need the same variables and different signs. Same variables, different signs. Here, when I look at the equation, I notice that the y have different signs. It means I want to work on the y because I only have to change the coefficients only. And I change the coefficients by multiplying and making them have the same or the it's the common factor, lowest common multiple, basically. Yeah, lowest common multiple, which is the six, which is the six. So here, to make this a six, I have to multiply it by three. So I'm going to multiply the whole equation by three. Same idea here. To make this a six, I have to multiply the whole equation by two. And as we said, some people have problems with this and they forget that. It's the whole idea is multiplying the whole equation. Multiplying the whole equation. So when you multiply by three, you have to multiply the whole equation. When you multiply by two, you have to multiply the whole equation. Okay? And that's the idea of multiplying to make it have the same coefficient. Now let's multiply and check our equations. So here 3 times 3, let's use this space. 3 times 3 is going to be 9x. And then 3 times 2y is going to be plus 6y. And then 3 times 7 is going to be 21. That's the first equation after multiplying by 3. Now, the second equation after multiplying by 2, here, we will have 4x. Let's put it here. And then 2 times negative 3 is going to be negative 6y. And then equals 2 times negative 4 is going to be negative 8. Now we have the two equations after multiplying. Now I'm going to start the elimination method. Now, as we said, the elimination method rules, you must have a variable that has the same coefficients and different signs. We already have this variable after doing the multiplying thing. It means we can eliminate these variables like this, and they will go by zero by addition. So these become zero after addition. This means that you have to add the other elements of the equations. So I'm going to add the first ones, which are 9x and 4x, and I'm going to add the second ones, which is 21 minus 8. So the first ones, 9x plus 4x is going to be 13x. 13x. That's right here. And then 21 minus 8. 21 minus 8. Focus on addition and subtraction. Don't have mistakes because of simple calculations. So 21 minus 8 is going to be 13. Very good, 13. So 9 plus 4 is 13, and 21 minus 8 is 13. Now 13x equals 13. I want to find the value of x. If 13 is multiplied by x, it means I can take it to the other side by dividing. So x will equal 13 divide 13. X will equal 13 divide 13, which equals to 1. And this is the first part of solving the equation, finding the value of x. So basically, we found x, which is 1. Now, what do we do? Same as we did before. We take the x or the value of x, substitute it in one of the equations to find the value of y. So let's say I'm going to use the first equation. Whatever equation you use is going to be the same answer. So 3x plus 2y will equal 7. That's the first equation. So I'm going to plug 1 instead of the x. So 3 multiplied by 1. As we said, when you remove a variable, you have to put brackets instead of that variable. So 3 times 1 plus 2y equals 7. Now, 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2y equals 7. Now, I need to make y the subject, so I'm going to take the 3 to the other side by subtraction. So here we end up with what? Very good. 2y equals 7 minus 3. So 2y will equal 4. Now I need y, so I'm going to remove the 2, and because it's multiplied, I'm going to take it to the other side by dividing. So here, the y will equal 4 divide 2. This means that the y will equal 2. And this is the value of y. And this is how you answer a question like this. So basically, simultaneous equations, you have to find the values of x and y. Using the elimination method, it means you choose a variable that has the same coefficient and different signs. If you don't have the same coefficients, you have to multiply them to make them have same coefficient. If they don't have different signs, you have to multiply one of them by a negative number. So you change the signs and then you start the elimination method. Now, that's it for the elimination method and the ideas of elimination method. Now, let's take a look at the questions. Maybe we have something else to explain. Yeah, that's it for this elimination method. Now, solving problems using simultaneous equations. It means having problems or word problems that makes simultaneous equations, and then you use them to solve with simultaneous equations. Okay. So, for example, here, let me show you some questions. The sum of two numbers is 112, and the difference is 54. Now, let me show you how you answer questions like these. These questions you have to make your own equations and then solve them. The first one, the sum of two numbers is 112. This means what? Let's say that these two numbers are x and y. Okay. The sum of them, it means when you add them together. So x plus y equals what? Equals 112. That's the first equation. And the second equation, the difference is 54. This means that x minus y equals 54. So here we make two simultaneous equations. We can solve them using the same method that we did with the first question. I just want to explain how you write the equations so you can start solving. Second question here, find two numbers with a mean of 14 and a difference of 4. Same idea. This question here. Let's cover this. So two numbers with mean of 14. What's the meaning of mean? Mean means when you add numbers and divide them by their count. So this means x plus y divide 2. This is the mean. This is how you find the mean of two numbers. You add them and divide them by their count. So x plus y divide 2 equals what? The mean equals 14. So you write it like this, equals 14. And now if you want to fix this equation, you have to take the 2 to the other side because it's divided. You have to take it by multiplying over here. So you end up with an equation like this, x plus y equals 2 times 14 equals 28. So this is the first equation. And then a difference of 4. This means that x minus y equals 4. This is the second equation. So you have two simultaneous equations. Now you can solve them using the elimination method. And that's the idea of having problems lead to simultaneous equations and you use them to solve. Okay, same idea here. You can find an x and y and then find the area. But how do you do this? Basically, that's a rectangle. This means that this line is equal to this line, so you write them next to each other and put equal between them. Same idea, this line is equal to this line. You write them next to each other, put equal between them, find simultaneous equations, and then solve them using the same method. And that's the idea of simultaneous equations and how to solve them. Or yes, simplify by adding like terms, subtracting, taking the variable in one side. That's the idea. Okay, and you'll end up with two simultaneous equations and you can solve them using the elimination method. Same idea with all questions here. you can use them to write simultaneous equations and solve them with the same methods. And that's it for simultaneous equations. I hope you understood the idea. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.